Hey everyone. Before working with Jeff and Jessica, I was in financially a pretty bad situation. I had a long-term job with an agency, an advertising agency, for about almost 20 years, and had done really well for that 20 years, and all within the course of maybe 2 months, a year or so ago, almost 95% of our revenue left, basically. So all of a sudden, me and my new wife actually, um, were living paycheck to paycheck and had dumped all of our savings into trying to keep the agency afloat. We were doing very poorly, to say the least. Every day was a question of whether or not we were going to have rent money or have any money to keep the utilities on. Whatever. We were not doing well. Um, but of course, because I've been in advertising for a while and at least a little bit involved with digital media, um, I always see these things come up on my Facebook timeline, and a lot of them seem like get rich quick scams or whatever. And I've been in a lot of them, and I've been involved in a bunch of different programs. But you always think, that they're just a scam a lot of times when you see them, and a lot of them are definitely. And I've been in a few that were great. Um, but it's really hard to always kind of trust them when you see them, of course. But I know I had seen, I think it was one of their ads. I think I saw it a few times actually before I actually read it, just because I was so skeptical. Um, but I started watching some of the videos, and I think actually that day, once I watched the first one, I ended up actually watching all of them, which was a ton, like a ton of videos they have on the proof page. I watched all of them from start to finish, and I ended up actually even going on YouTube, and Google, and Googling everything I could find on Jeff and Jessica Samis and looking up all their stuff. And um, it took me like all afternoon one day, and I think it was probably like one video from each of them that really kind of resonated with me a lot. And there was one video from Jeff. I think it was in like the frequently asked question video that the two of them did, which is an awesome idea in the first place, just to do a video with the questions instead of like a write up. But he talks about the question is, why can't you do this stuff on your own? And really, anyone can, because all this information is out there, but it's so hard to do it on your own without support. And like there's really, and even in all the groups that I've been in, none of them really kind of lay it out like a step by step like process. Um, so as much as all the information is out there, it's you really can't do it on your own. It's very difficult to succeed when you try to do it on your own, and that's so true. And that kind of stuck with me. And then there was another video from Jess, um, where she talked about kind of her past careers, and the difference of working with big companies and then going to working with smaller companies, and then like really the difference that you can make for them. That really kind of spoke to me a little bit, just because my whole past was, and still kind of has been, working with bigger national companies. And you know it doesn't really make a difference to the big national companies when you work with them. You're just kind of helping out some person that wants to leave by 4 o'clock, and you're still working till like 2, 3 a.m. As a small business owner, you're kind of at their beck and call, because they're giant companies, or whatever. That was my situation. Um, but when you work with a small company, it's completely different. You're helping someone put their food on their table, and you're actually helping them succeed, and it's just a very different feeling. So it's much more rewarding, and um, it definitely kind of struck a chord with me. So again, I went through all the videos. I really liked everything they were talking about, and ended up signing up. And I've been going through all this stuff, and working with the program for maybe almost 2 months now. And just in that short time, I mean, it's everything that I've been doing has basically changed. I went from constant instability and you know I would even say like hopelessness sometimes, to having a clear path of exactly how to do things and get clients. I landed, just from the program, I landed my first 2 clients, small business clients, within like a couple weeks, 2 retainers and a trial. Um, and I have a whole full slate of more strategy sessions set up, and everything they put in there is really just kind of everything that they had really already talked about in the videos that I had watched, where everything is laid out for you, like everything, everything, like the prospecting, the strategy, the mindset, all the tactics and deliverables, and like how to land the clients, how to perform for them, how to succeed for them, how to make them like super excited to work with you, because they should be. You're basically selling them customers. You're selling them money. So it's once you get in front of a customer, it's pretty hard not to get them if you use everything that Jessica and Jeff teach you, because it just makes sense. Because they teach you really how to be successful in what you're doing, and it works. Like everything they teach you like really works really well, and you're making people money. And it's not just practical, but it's also like a great feeling when I remember the first client that I signed as a retainer was a photographer, and she was struggling, and her husband had just left his job to go back to school, and now all of a sudden, like, she didn't know if she could pay rent. Like, you know, um, thankfully she came up with her first month retainer, but um, we started bringing her in leads like within the first day of the campaign. She had, I think, something like 7 leads in the first 2 days, and within the first week she had 27 leads, and all of a sudden the question from her was, she didn't understand how to handle them. Like, she didn't know what to do with them. So she was texting me at like 11 p.m. anxious because she didn't know how to handle all the leads, and that's obviously a great problem, to be able to help someone walk through and just convert them because they have so many people coming in that want to give her business. And it's just a much different feeling than even when I was making a lot of money working with bigger clients. And to be honest, I see more potential for my personal salary doing this than I did when I was working for the bigger agency. As a big agency, well, not big, but I think that we had 50 people at our highest. Um, I had a good salary, but with this, I mean, it's all kind of on me. So it's not just like it's not a salary per se. It's more like the more I can bring in and do myself, the more money I'm gonna make. So and I know that I can, if I need more revenue, I can always just go out and sell another account. It's almost like it's just completely dependent on me, and it's a great feeling to know that, like, especially coming from that like sudden and you know sense of having everything pulled out from underneath me when we lost all that work and all that money, and now all of a sudden being able to provide for my family again. And I had a baby at the same time actually too, so that was a nice added layer of stress. So we couldn't even afford diapers. Well, we could, but like barely for a while. Um, everything was hard, and now all of a sudden, we're bringing some clients in, and a lot of it has really been because of this program. So it's been amazing for us. So if you are on the fence about this program at all, I would say it's silly. It's a great program. There's no reason to be on the fence about it at all. Like, it gives you everything you need to do to land your clients, like everything, to help them succeed, and to just kind of a full game plan, even as far as like administration documents, like contracts and templates for stuff to use. Really anything at all you need, it's there, and the community as well. Um, I know there's a few things that I've had questions on, and they have the multiple weekly calls where they actually get on and walk you through anything that you need help on at all, and everyone just jumps on and helps, and it's just a great community. Honestly, I can't say enough about it. So that's it. Hopefully that helps make a decision. Thanks. Bye.